Awesome. How's it going?
It's good. It's good. Everything's good around here. How about your house?
Good, good. I was just logging on to Instagram and you know how they always make you do like a song to go with any of your posts?
Yeah.
I was thinking back, do you remember that episode from Cheers where Woody wrote a song for his girlfriend and it was basically like Kelly, 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 Kelly,
Yeah.
Kelly, Kelly. Like I think we need to overlay this whole talk with that soundtrack.
Oh my God. I'm sure I've heard that song my entire life. I think the first 20 years of my life, it was sung to me over and over and over again. I'm sure you got the same.
Like everywhere I go, for sure.
Yeah, totally. Well, I am thrilled to have you here. This is going to be so much fun. Oh my gosh, Anita's so cute. She says your whole family's watching from Michigan. So that
Yeah,
is awesome.
they probably have it on the big screen.
Yeah, I'm so excited to talk a little science. I mean, you are the heart and soul behind this entire Brighter Days company, and you've really become the expert on science for how this product was developed, and it really is such an extraordinary thing. And so I want to like dig into your brain, if that's okay with you, and just answer a few simple questions
Hmm.
for our audience. Does that sound good?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, good. Let's talk ingredients first because, if you look on labels for so many products out there, you'll see 50, 75, even 100 ingredients. Why, with Brighter Days, did we decide to stick with just 17 essential nutrients?
Yeah, I mean it's a question that we get a lot, and there's a couple factors there. The first one that I always say, we walk on the brighter side of the street with Brighter Days, and if you're taking a supplement, you're better off than not taking a supplement. So that's great. When I started looking into the supplements that were out there, I mean, I think we've all kind of gone down this path too. It seemed like there were two approaches. It was either there was some magic ingredient that was in there, or it was the kitchen sink of ingredients, like 80 or 90. And I frankly just found it really hard to read some of those fact panels to see what all of the ingredients were and what benefit they had for the body. So I really started looking into, when we first started, we were going down the mental health approach. Like we wanted to do a formulation that was specifically for mental health. So I dove into a bunch of the white papers that were out there, hundreds actually, and kind of came up with the top 17 nutrients that were best for making ourselves feel ourselves again. Like it wasn't about, just about burnout or anything like that. It was just like feeling good. I think we've all gone through that where we haven't felt
Mhm.
100%. So it was basically like we almost had a tryout. Like you had to make the team as an ingredient to be part of Brighter Days. And then a funny thing kind of happened along the way is that our intention was that it was kind of just make us all feel better, but that comes to everyone in a different way.
Yep.
Everybody's body is different than each. So we hear people that I sleep better, I have more energy, I feel calmer, all sorts of things along those lines. So it was really intentional. Everything was clinically researched to make sure that it had a benefit for your body. And we just wanted to be transparent and trustworthy and say, hey, we know these ingredients are great for you. Are there others that might be good too? Possibly, but we can tell you that we know these are good for you.
Yep. Yeah, I love that. And I actually think the brilliance of it is the simplicity that just getting those 17 essential, you feel so different when you take it. You feel so good. First time I think my husband took it, he goes, I don't think I realized how depleted I was of these nutrients. So that's the beauty of it is it's just the basics, but it's everything you need. I mean, it really is. It was brilliantly formulated. So let's then talk about the three R's. We talk about the three R's all the time. It's such a kind of the backbone of how you developed this formula. So the three R's are the right ingredients, the right interactions, and the right ratios. What does that mean, and why is that so important?
Yeah, so this was kind of a line that we drew in the sand from the beginning, and that we really wanted to make everything was working together. I don't think you often hear that when you talk about supplements or even nutrition. I mean, we don't even have to talk about supplements.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a big sports fan, so I kind of think in those ways a lot. And kind of building the formulation for Brighter Days was a lot about like building a perfect sports team, right? Like you need people who score, people who defend, people who create opportunities for everyone else and don't really get recognized. And the funny thing is, nutrients work a lot in the same way. That some produce energy, some support hydration, some support neurotransmitters, some support each other. They help each other get to the point of delivery and then be more effective in delivering that. We call that, nutrient synergies or kind of the buddy system, right? Where They work better together. 1 plus 1 doesn't always equal 2. Sometimes it equals 3. Um, and then the right ratios really matter too. And kind of going back to that sports analogy, like if you have the one superstar that demands the spotlight all the time, that the other people can't shine from there. And we talked a little bit before about those all-in-one ingredients. A lot of those ingredients actually block the absorption or block the efficacy of other nutrients that are used. And so if you kind of just throw them all in there without the research behind it, then you don't actually know that what's said on the label is actually what you're getting. So if it says there's 100 milligrams of magnesium in there, that doesn't mean that your body is absorbing and using 100 milligrams. It could actually be 4 milligrams. So we wanted to be, again, this word comes up a lot, but as transparent as possible and provide the nutrients in a form and in ratios that actually gave your body what it needs and not just what it said on the labels. And we weren't searching for that magic bullet either. We were just kind of looking for that perfect team concept. And I think we got there.
Yeah, you definitely did. I was definitely the consumer that just had a cabinet full of vitamins and they were all in pill form. And I had no idea that it was so important which ones you took together, the ratios. Like that was definitely something I did not know about before Brighter Days. So
I think we were
that's
all in that situation, right?
totally, totally. Well, this week we've had this really fun theme with all of our brand partners. We've been talking about Brighter Days Your Way. And so, tell me exactly when you were coming up with how to consume Brighter Days. It was really so many different ways they could do it. The basic way, just add it to water and shake. People add it to ice, people add it to OJ, people are adding it to their smoothies. We really saw some fun, creative ways this week. We had a fail when I added it to my husband's cottage cheese and fruit. That was not good, so that
It's
wasn't a
so
good one.
good.
But most of them have been awesome, and people just love making it their way. Was that intentional to give it that functionality?
I mean, I think most of the time people would say absolutely, but in our case, absolutely not. When we started out, we did play a lot in flavoring, and we wanted it to taste great, which isn't always easy because you have flavors of the raw materials that are in there that you kind of have to mask and work with flavoring and the sweeteners. I remember one of the first disagreements Anita and I had, not in marriage, just in brighter days life, was
Yeah.
she really wanted a version that had no taste in it, so people could mix it and everything. And I said that it's not possible, and she was like, "Well, I'm out. I'm out. I don't want to do this if we can't do that." And like most things in life, we finally got over that. And we went through a lot of iterations. I mean, I think we probably tasted 50 flavors. And our chief scientist probably tasted 50 more that she wouldn't even allow us to taste. And when we went out for the first perception test, we actually had an orange flavor and we told people it was orange. And you had people that would just be like, I don't like orange. Or people would say, I like ice pop. Can you make an ice pop flavor? And we kind of decided at that point that we weren't going to name the flavor. We were just going to make it palatable to the most people that could take it. And also, my taste is a little thrown off. My taste buds are kind of messed up after having chemo. So I kind of defer to a lot of other people on that. And then we wanted to make it mild, but mild, it's a fine balance there, right? Because you want to make it mild enough that it kind of masks the flavors of the raw materials, but also that you could put it into something like a smoothie. So it was actually after we launched that people started telling us that they're mixing it with OJ, they're putting it in their smoothies. And so it was kind of fortuitous for us that we
Yeah.
had made it that mild and we could make it that way. And kind of looking back on it, I think the thing that we get mixed up on in the wellness trend is that you have to be perfect, right? And the reality is we're not perfect, and we need a supplement that kind of supports that. So, we talk about the idea that some days you're thriving and some days you're just surviving, but they
Yeah.
both count. So let's give you a supplement that works with that. Our accountant yesterday said to us, "I've missed a few days. Is that a bad thing?" And it's like, it's not bad. Just keep going. It helps. I mean, it's not like you all totally foundational, but just keep going. And that's kind of our approach. And that's the way that we got there with the formulation and the flavoring.
Yeah, I love it. I love that it's simple. I can do it every morning. And even if I don't have a perfect day and I don't make all the right decisions with what I eat and what I drink, I know that I've got the 17 basics in me every day. So thank you so much, Kelly, for making the science so simple. I know there is like so much more detail you could go into, but I think that you really nailed it. It's very understandable for everybody, and we know that what we're getting is really good for us.
Well, that's awesome. I loved it. Let's do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime. All right. Thank you, Cal.
All right. Talk to you soon.
See
All
ya.
right. Bye.